Alright, so Loki Season 2 is going to play a huge role as the glue in the upcoming multiversal Kang dynasty, coming off the heels of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But aside from a few casting announcements and only our imagination, we know virtually nothing of this international man of mischief's second season. Luckily, some brave fans from D23 and various cons have risked being sniped by old Kevin himself and leaked a trailer that gives fans of Loki even more reason to ship Loki and Mobius, or rather Lokius, in his upcoming Season 2. So in this video, I want to go over the new leaks, behind the scenes pictures, news scoops, and even some crazy theories as to what Season 2 of Loki will have in store for us. But yeah, thank you for clicking this. I'm your resident TVA agent, Jared. Now let's get into some leaks for Loki Season 2. Now, if you remember at the end of Season 1, Loki appears to have been transported to an entirely different version of the TVA. Here, Mobius and Hunter B-15 do not remember Loki at all, with him soon finding out that Kang, or He Who Remains, has conquered this timeline and is in control of the TVA, hence the giant statue of my man. However, what we see in this trailer that Paul's uncle who works at Marvel showed to us, yeah, good guy, really works at Marvel, is a bit misleading actually. Also, we did a full breakdown for this leaked trailer a couple weeks ago. You can click it right up here, but these leaks help us understand a bit more. So shout out to Daniel RPK for dropping several of these leaks on his Patreon, but the trailer paints Loki as this man out of time and sort of teleports to different places, as if someone is either fast forward or rewinding him in time with one of those temp pads. However, this isn't the work of a temp pad or Kang, but rather he is stuck in a cycle of going to the future, past, present, because of Sylvie pruning him out of time. And it's revealed the reason that Mobius and B-15 don't recognize him is because this is before he ever showed up at the TVA. So instead of this being a completely different multiversal version of the TVA, completely different people, one where Kang ruled, it's the same one we saw in Season 1, only set years and years before. Yeah, it's a bit strange, like Loki says in the trailer, but at the beginning of the TVA, Kang decided to be front and center. He was a public figure, but once he learned of the dealings his variants were up to, he stepped down as the public image, erased all of the minds of the TVA members, so therefore there is no knowledge of his presence. Instead, creating the idea of the three timekeepers as a Wizard of Oz approach to hide who was actually behind everything and hiding himself from his variants. So this is why there's a giant statue of Kang at the end of Season 1, because this is actually the past. And later, in most of, Loki Season 1, the Timekeepers are the ones to be feared because the TVA knows nothing of Kang. But with Loki shifting time eras so much, it's an awful game of telephone, trying to fill in the past and present, hell, maybe even the future, with missing information each group needs. This further explains the shot from the trailer of Loki using a time stick on the wall featuring the Timekeepers, only to reveal engravings of Kang hidden underneath. This shot is the present timeline from Loki Season 1, because we also see a severed Timekeeper head on the table as Loki makes this reveal. Good on you, Feige, trying to throw us off your scent, but this reveal of it all being the same universe is discovered like in Episode 1. Which feels like a less than satisfying cliffhanger for Season 1 to have actually ended on. Still cool that Loki is trapped out of time, which has got to be one hell of a headache. Now, in order to stop this time jumping, no, Loki's not going to watch the hit 2002 time-stopping movie Clock Stoppers for help. Instead, Mobius takes him to visit Hugh Kwan's character of Ouroboros. Just call him Time Timmy or something. What's with these names? Anyway, this is an original character created for the series, but also goes by the nickname of Bo. He's described as a TVA archivist, like the Q of the TVA. You know Q from the Bond franchise, in charge of research and technology, new gadgets for Bond to use and break in the field. So Bo, or maybe it's B.O., that'd be a stinky name, holds this position at the TVA and helps develop a device for Loki that prevents the time jumps flat out, or rather controls them, so he can return to the present. A personalized time door for Loki, if you will. It's cool we'll see Kwan in another multiversal weird property after everything everywhere all at once, and hopefully he's featured in a decent amount of this series. Now, the main plot of Season 2 might be less intriguing than you have hoped. Kang is unfortunately not going to be the big bad, the main villain of Season 2, instead taking a secondary role, more background, probably playing into the past storyline more than the present one that we saw in Season 1. Instead, Daniel RPK reports that Kate Dickie is playing a main role in Season 2 and is said to be the villain of this series. The leaks continue, hinting that she will be playing an older version of Sylvie, who has actually teamed up with several rogue TVA agents to help right the wrongs of Season 1. However, her identity, this reveal, will not be shown until later in the season, keeping the mystery of who she actually is for a late season reveal. It goes on implying that Dickie's character and the rogue TVA agents are purging the new timelines that were created when He Who Remains died at the end of Season 1. A villain arc based on regret isn't something new, but it will be interesting when an old and young versions of the same character meet one another. Like, if this happened to me, I'd tell myself to go buy some Dogecoin. To the moon, baby! But with older Sylvie on this villain redemption arc, Loki, Mobius, and the TVA are said to be the ones trying to stop her. They do this to prevent any unnecessary deaths that they want and the timelines to be free, which is kind of a switch up from Season 1. It's also said that the other Lokis from Season 1 will return, meaning that Crocky, Loki, I'm going to call him that, will be there to help out. The only Loki that will not return, unfortunately, is classic Loki due to how it ended in Season 1. However, the person that they truly need to help them fight this older Sylvie is the Sylvie that's the younger Sylvie from Season 1. Yeah, this is going to be a variant-filled, finger-pointing-at-everyone type of season. However, they don't know where Sylvie actually is hiding out, or rather when, like what time. Through a series of events, they discover that she's hiding out in 1970s, essentially living a normal life working at McDonald's. Her wanting a normal life ties into how she never really got a normal life because of the TBA and wants to serve up some tasty burgers. Behind-the-scenes photos confirm this with a McDonald's restaurant and Sylvie wearing what appears to be a McDonald's uniform that was commonplace in this time area. I'm going to get real sweaty right now, but this has got to be the late 70s, not the early 70s, because if we zoom into the McDonald's menu, Chicken McNuggets are featured, and I am a chicken nugget fiend, and I know that they were only available in select restaurants in the late 70s. So it looks like it might be a little bit closer to the 80s, like I said, late 70s, but it does look like Sylvie is definitely loving it. But the group wants to pull her out of her normal life to help with older Sylvie. Also, the romantic tension relationship is said to be still happening between Loki and Sylvie, giving the expression, go f*** yourself, an entirely different meaning. Whoa, and you know what else was invented in the 70s? Jet skis, baby. Well, the first stand-up one. I don't care how or what we gotta do, but Mobius is gonna be on that jet ski. I'm telling you, Feige, do it, you cowards, do it! As for other pieces of the trailer, it appears multiple Lokis, Mobius, and B-15 dress up to attend some sort of movie premiere. Who, why, what? My best guess is some sort of heist, and I think it's to gain information from a completely obscure Marvel villain, Zaniac. I'm not going to bore you with this dude's comic origins, but the evil entity essentially possessed a working actor, Brad Wolf. And surprisingly enough, there are movie posters for a premiere of a movie called Zaniac, starring Brad Wolf, seen in behind-the-scenes photos. My working theory is that Brad Wolf is being played by Rafael Casal, who was cast in an unknown role and seen on set working with both Loki and Mobius. One of Brad Wolf or Zaniac's characteristics is an overwhelming bloodlust or desire to kill women. So the group goes to the movie premiere, kidnaps Zaniac, and uses him as some sort of tracking dog like a bloodhound. Oh, bloodlust, bloodhound, he's a good tracker. This is far too on the nose, but essentially they use him to track down Sylvie in the 70s. Another theory is that Loki, due to the time jumps, has seen the future and the start or even the ending of Secret Wars. There are a couple lines of dialogue stating there's nothing that stands between this world and utter destruction, and that war is on the way. War, Secret Wars, and there's a shot of a futuristic white lab or command center that doesn't look like it belongs in the TVA, so this could be Kang's command center overlooking the events of Secret Wars. This is why Loki is bent out of shape. He has seen the end of everything, which could be one of the few times Kang makes an appearance as the villain. There's also a rumor of Loki returning back to the 616 universe at the end of the series, which I find hard to believe. But if so, it could be another Gamora situation with him out there and about. Maybe Loki even dies at the end and ends up in Valhalla, which is why it was teased at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know, I'm getting way off the rails, but it could happen. Maybe a little messy, but maybe? Lastly, Loki Season 2 adjacent is some Deadpool 3 news, with Daniel RPK reporting that Mobius and the TVA are to play a main role in this story.
Wow.
Yes, Owen Wilson is said to be reprising his role and gives us some hints as to what Deadpool and Wolverine will be up to. It has been clear that this version of Wolverine that we'll be getting in this movie is a different multiversal version than the one that was in Logan. So hit F to pay respects because that bub be dead. No retcons here. This means that Mobius may be the one to guide Deadpool and Wolverine through their epic buddy road trip through the entire MCU. The TVA could be the ones that are going after the pair to prune them, as they are seen to kind of be a threat to Kang. If we get Deadpool, Wolverine, and Mobius cruising on some sea-doos, Kang and the TVA have got to defuse the whole situation. There have even been some Twitter interactions between the Ms. Minutes account and Ryan Reynolds, so it's only a matter of time.
Wow.
As for when we might see Loki Season 2, kind of depends on a few things. With it being said to be released in summer 2023, and we're kind of factoring in the MCU theatrical releases, I believe sometime around Memorial Day here in the States might be the best window of opportunity. Guardians Volume 3 hits theaters the first week of May, while The Marvels releases the final weekend of July 2023. Popping Loki into this window feels like the right choice. Even starting the first week of June would be perfect, mirroring the release of Season 1. The only hiccup is the Echo series is supposed to release in summer 2023 as well. Depending if this even happens, honestly, it's just a toss-up right now which one will come first, so beginning of June or mid-August. But obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these leaks and speculation for Loki Season 2. Is this going to play a pivotal role into the Kang dynasty? And when do you think Season 2 will be dropping on Disney+? And I'll let you know, we're currently running a competition right now, giving away 3 copies of House of Dragon Season 1 on the 15th of December, and all you gotta do to get a chance of winning this is like this video, subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment down below on Loki Season 2. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of last month are on screen right now. So if that's you, message us on Twitter at Heavy Spoilers. If you want something else to watch, be sure to check out some of our other cool videos. Click one or we'll prune ya. With that out of the way, thanks for watching. I've been Jared, the Mobius of Heavy Spoilers, and I'm off to check out a rad Sea-Doo. We'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.